Oh, there's another factor with that whole situation from just the perception of it, okay? That I'm really wondering from the end of the security card that ends up going ahead and seeing the footage of this happening, alright? Because if I was watching that happen from the sidelines, which I felt it happening, and by the way, while this person is freaking out, having the meltdown of a century, because they just got hit by this huge splooge cannon hitting apparently clothes that are so expensive they are quote unquote worth more than your annual salary. The person that was the splooge cannon is apparently completely comatose, been comatose for a long while, so clearly can't consent, because, coma patients hard to consent. But hearing this dialogue between grower than a show, more of a grower than a shower, but simpler than a brick. General consensus. Hearing this meltdown because this vegetable just shot a shot across the room. This is the danger of laughing too hard. It makes my throat hurt way too much post operation. But oh, but literally thinking, holy shit, this vegetable is a pimp. Apparently, this motherfucker is so set that while in a coma, he's going ahead and blowing loads across the room on this person who's clearly a gold digger, complaining about the factor that what they were wearing was more than the person's annual salary, flipping out like she's the victim in the circumstance, while meantime, this vegetable just ended up going ahead and understanding a new definition of the stranger because ultimately they gotta play a guessing game of who's feeling on my dick. You kind of helped me come back to consciousness. And the funny thing is, anyone hearing this story will not give it a second thought of, wait, so this motherfucker is on death's door. And ultimately, somebody starts tugging on his dick. Like they're saying, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Ends up blowing this huge load, shooting across the room, hitting somebody who wants to complain that they're the victim. Alright? Well, meantime, this person in a coma just got sexually assaulted. And hoping never to have this conversation. Well, there's a whole bunch of people that if there's even just one person with its sick, twisted, and morbid sense of humor is never gonna let that conversation ever be forgotten. And ultimately, the person later on being like, hey, so I kind of had to do my goodbyes in my head to the kind of the voices in the head while they were kind of pulling me back cognitively. It was kind of one of those, hey, looks like you finally get to move. And still being able to kind of tap into the same mentality, the nothing box mentally. But that being a conversation that I'd imagine somebody would want to avoid by either bringing it to their death, to their deathbed or their grave, like not wanting to have to explain themselves, of like, there is nothing about any of this that is okay. And if it ends up getting being public knowledge or not handled in an insulated manner, could end up having long-term ramifications. And then the ramifications of those ramifications will have their own set of ramifications.